My question to you, Mr. Cohen, is how much of the outsourced maintenance, I believe the IG said that 50% of the regional airlines maintenance is being outsourced. What percentage of that outsourced maintenance work is going to FAA-certified repair stations?
First of all, 100% of all the maintenance is being done in an FAA-certified maintenance operation. Otherwise, it wouldn't be allowed to fly. Number two, I think that there is if I can clarify what the IG study is, actually the regional airlines outsource less of it overseas than even the mainline carriers do. Virtually all of the maintenance by the regional airline members is done here in this country, either by themselves, on their own, to an FAA-certified maintenance operation here in the United States, including our manufacturers, which have locations in the United States, in Miami, in Tennessee, and in West Virginia.
I'm sure you're aware that it is perfectly acceptable to the FAA for the repair work to be done in non-certified stations. You're aware of that, right?
Senator, again, it's my understanding on the maintenance that the heavy maintenance here that we're talking about, the heavy maintenance checks, the C&D checks, are conducted by what I'm assuming are FAA certified.
If you would check that, because I think I would be surprised. One of the issues, of course, is why do we have certified repair stations if people aren't required to use them? And that's, in fact, what the legislation that Senator Specter and I have introduced would require you to use the certified repair stations. As I said to FAA a couple of different times in this room, I assume getting one certified is a good thing. Well, if it's a good thing, why aren't we requiring people to use them? And if it's not a good thing, why are we spending taxpayer money supporting them? It doesn't make sense to me, just using good old-fashioned common sense, that we would go through a certification process and then not require it. So if you would get back to me, I would really appreciate it, because the FAA does not have good data on this. They will admit they do not know how much of the maintenance is being done at certified versus non-certified repair stations.
Senator, we'll get you all the information.
Thank you very much. And Mr. May, same question to you for the national carriers. Can you give me any kind of figure as to what percentage of the maintenance is being done in certified versus non-certified repair stations?
I do not have that number at hand, but I would be happy to provide it to you, Senator.
That would be terrific. And while you're at it, Mr. Cohen has represented that none of this is being outsourced beyond the United States in terms of the regional carriers. I am confident it is being outsourced beyond the United States for the large commercial carriers. Does your association have a number of what percentage of that maintenance is being outsourced?
I'm sure we have the answer to that. I don't happen to have it with me. I'd be happy to provide it.
If you have it, that would be terrific. It has been a very difficult amount. The information is difficult to come by from the FAA. They have not, I don't think, prioritized looking at this issue, and I don't think the American flying public realizes to what extent maintenance has been outsourced in an effort to cut costs, and what one of the problems is that in many of these places there's not even alcohol and drug testing. And it seems weird to me that we have domestic certified repair stations, and because we don't have as many of them anymore, because so many have been outsourced, there are FAA inspectors that hang out there that are really looking over the shoulder. And then you travel to Indonesia, and if there is ever an FAA inspector that shows up, by the way, the United States pays for that. The taxpayers pay the costs of the FAA inspectors to go look at foreign repair stations, not the airlines. So the taxpayers are actually underwriting this outsourcing. They aren't even doing drug and alcohol tests, and as we have talked about in this hearing before, there are actually locations that have been on the State Department's watch list for terrorist activity where there have been repair stations that have been utilized. So if you would get back to us with whatever information your associations have on this information, I think it will be helpful as we move forward trying to get these important reforms done in the area of maintenance and repair.